We're going to go over to Nav. Now, I know Nav has a couple of slides to share as well. As I mentioned before, Nav is on a bit of a journey to explore MetaSkills and the skills for the future of work. So a little bit of a presentation on that, and then we'll go into our panel discussion.
Oh, it works. All right. Thanks, Anna. Humans, if you want to find something in common with each other, we can. So Anna said she's half Italian and half Finnish. Do you see any connection with me? There is actually. No, don't look like that. But yes, a few years ago I did a DNA test, and of course I'm of Indian origin, and that's where I am. But I'm 3.75% Finnish. I'm not kidding. And Finnish, somehow people are a very good friend of mine. So one of my colleagues, he's Finnish, he jokes. Maybe my great-great-great-grandfather was traveling towards this side at one point in time. Yeah, so I'll be talking on future of work. I started to work on idea of MetaSkills, what are the skills of the future, and that started from how do we learn, metacognition, meta-learning. And I decided to work on skills because that's where I would use the role. And while doing that, this topic of future of work kind of started to come up because we use skills to do something. This is me. If I'm self-conceited, I'll say, follow me. But I have been, I started with this company called ID Actio for around 12 years, since 2012, and this year I started the School of MetaSkills. School of MetaSkills, and also a community called Future Skills Network. But today, let's start with, why do we work actually? Can somebody say anything? You don't know?
Money.
To live. What else?
And money.
Pay the bills, yeah. So most of us, I get these kind of answers. Why we work has a very deep connection with us being human. And I'll just come to that very, very quickly. So what does it mean to be human? That is first thing that we need to. So can I request you, all of you, just close your eyes for 10 seconds and think, what does it mean to be human? All right. Now, do we have answers?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be human?
Being nice to each other.
Being nice to each other. And why?
To avoid people like Trump coming
Too late.
Good one. And he said to share. Why do you share?
Yeah, being alone is just alone. It's horrible.
Okay.
Share everything. Yeah.
Very good. In a positive thing, yeah. So human beings, we are social animals, and we come together to do stuff, yeah. And that has, in a way, genesis in why we work as well. So there are three things, and this is, in a way, a bit of Maslow's hierarchy. You can just kind of visualize that. There are three things that, or instincts that make us human. First two, they're very similar to animals. Third one is that one that makes us unique. So first one is to survive. By the way, this is my son on day one. So first one, we have to survive. You know, amoebas and all they create, you have to replicate a DNA. So the emotion or act associated with the first instinct is procreate and eat. We need energy for that. And emotion is fear, because anytime we could be kind of decimated. Once we do that, second instinct is to sustain, which is associated with act of nurturing and caring. And the dominant emotion here is empathy. But this is very similar to what animals do as well. So what makes us human? That we can imagine stuff. We can imagine constructs. And then we can come together, work together, as you said, share, collaborate, and create new stuff. And emotion, in a way, if you can call it so, we look for meaning. And this we have done, imagination, for example, we can imagine to go to Mars. or we can imagine what money looks like. Now, I don't go to NTUC Fair Price with my goat, can take the goat and give me groceries. We have some papers and coins and now some bits and bytes. We say, see, this is money. So we have imagined that, and NTUC guy agrees that, this is fine. I'll give you groceries, not a goat. So what is work? So work is essentially coming together to do something. So just imagine they were just like thousands of years ago, a son and a father going out to hunt or forage. They were working. Then as a clan they went out. They were working. To do what? To find things to survive. And then at a certain point in time, they started to go out with tools, stone tools. So then somebody started to make tools. There was division of labor. So work became more complex. And the tools became more complex. Now it is not just stone, but stone with wood. And then iron, then more division of labor. Some people were doing iron works, some people were doing wood work, some people were doing stone works, and other people were hunting, and others were eating, and some were reproducing. But what we were doing, we created this division of labor, and that's why the work kept on becoming more and more complex. And today we are sitting here, we are trying to do something actually, like with these fancy tools, but essentially we are still coming together to do something. So that led me to think, what could be the definition of work? Work is intentional collaboration to execute a certain task, to achieve a certain goal in pursuit of a certain vision. And this was true thousands of years ago. This is true now. So I wanted to take you to the very basic of why we work. We work because we are driven by this instinct to imagine and then to collaborate and create something new. And collaboration essentially is work. And all this we do, somebody said, like, to pay the bills. Yes, we still work to pay the bills. We still work to kind of sustain. And we still work to accomplish these imagined constructs. For example, country is a construct. We are sitting in this talk is a construct. And we are coming together to do something. And through this whole journey, technology has been very much like symbiotic part of it. So as human beings, we are not without technology, and technology is not without us. That's what made us dominate this whole planet, because if you see cats and dogs, this is how they eat, this is how they drink, but we drink with a glass, with a bottle. Why? We learned how to harness these tools and technologies. And we use this imagination, as I was saying earlier, and brought it with technology. For example, if somebody had a skill just to chisel this, and not the imagination to build a car out of it, this won't work. And we have done that. So question becomes what it means to be human. We need to understand what has been the human-machine relationship and what is the future of human-machine relationship. So far, till very recently, advent of AI now for past two and a half years, we had used this machine to augment our muscle power. But suddenly, we are using it to augment our brain power. Yeah, we are creating shared minds, extended minds. But the problem is, in some time from now, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, this mind will become much more smarter than us. So we were able to dominate other species because we were smarter than them. We were more intelligent than them. That's why we have lions in the zoo and we have dogs as our pets. What happens if this species, AI, becomes more intelligent than us? Just imagine, we won't be able to even understand it. For example, if I tell you that you know just 2 dimensions, you can understand a square. But you don't know the 3rd dimension, you won't be able to understand a cuboid. Just imagine if AI knows 10 other dimensions which we don't even know. They will control us. AI will. So it'll more intelligent, it can decide by itself, so that's why it is different. And I was just trying to do a bit of a thought experiment. This is not kind of exhaustive, but if you compare other species, human species and alien species, which is AI, so reproduce, it cannot, we can. Conscious, like not yet, but it might become conscious, we don't know. Conscious means feels pain, pleasures, emotions, so on and so forth. Intuition, maybe, I don't know yet. Intelligence, they're surely more intelligent than us. And dexterity, still not yet there. So for example, so this is, we have edge over here, these are close calls, and this is where machine has edge. So this was a video I just found today on LinkedIn. So if this level of dexterity comes, we have a problem. Let me drink water while you watch this video. It's quite funny actually, this is doing a lot of stuff later, but let me go further. So what could happen in future is, that depends on what kind of choices we make today. So that's why judgment becomes a very critical human skill. What kind of AI we build? How do we use AI? Depending on that, we could have these two extreme scenarios. One is what Anna was saying, that like we want to live till 90, 100, and so forth. So we could become immortal perhaps, if we can put our consciousness under a machine. Or dystopia, that Terminator kind of a thing, somebody comes and kills us all. But there is a dystopia within dystopia. I say that AI could either annihilate us or enslave us. That depends how useful we are to AI. Because AI needs these computer farms and computers to run. They need somebody to maintain those farms. So in that case, they will enslave us like the way we have cats, dogs, and lions in zoo, for example. We'll do as they do, like Matrix kind of a thing. Annihilate, if AI is able to find ways in which information could be stored like Avatar, through trees and through organic matter, and they could be able to digitally reproduce them, they don't need humans then. So they will annihilate us at one point in time. Maybe this is a far-off scenario, 200 years down the line, but we have to see what do we need to worry now in next 5 years, 10 years. So I think we need to worry that there will be loss of jobs, because AI, as Marco was saying earlier, AI is co-pilot, but some jobs it might just take all the way, like creative jobs are going away as well. Then we'll have this loss of worth or meaning, and there could be like change in systems and so forth. And so in this world, the problem will not be, in a way, as such, this utopia, dystopia, but problem will be, because if you see in industrial age, as productivity in machines increase, jobs and wages increased. But what is happening now is wages and jobs will decrease with increase in technology and productivity. So we have to see what are the new kinds of jobs we should create. What Emmy asks, are you doing something that you studied in school, for example? I am not. And in future, whatever you study now will become obsolete 1 week from now, 1 year from now, and so on and so forth, depending on what you're studying. So we need to understand what we should do. We need to understand our relationship with technology. Technology is more task-driven, efficiency. As I said, it is intelligent. But we are conscious, we are emotion-driven, we are driven by... So we need to focus on that. And Harari says, whatever money we are putting in this, if we are putting $1 in technology, we should put $1 in human development. And we have to use our imagination, but not just imagination, we have to this element of compassion and love to it as well. So in future, what could be the jobs? So this is kind of a visualization. In a way, there will be people who will be making AI. They're like Sam Altmans of the world, of people sitting in Microsoft and Google's, but there will be very few. So there will also be philosophers, because they have to, what is the ethical AI? There will be jobs in there as well. But most of the jobs will be people serving people. People serving people directly, people serving people using technology, people serving people using humanoids. Elon Musk says there will be, in 25 years, same number of humanoids as there are humans, or maybe more. So this is what we have to see, what kind of jobs we should create. So when machines can do everything that we can do, what would it mean to be human? So I feel power of human mind is not about power of intelligence. It is about power of compassion and purpose. So we have to see what choices we make today, because we will be what choices we make today. That's why judgment becomes a very, very important meta skill, as I said. What kind of AI we create, how we use it. And what could future look like? I would end with this slide. And what could future look like will determine what kind of future work we. So we have to ask ourselves these questions. What kind of jobs will be there in the future? Means what are needs we need to fulfill? Are they emotional needs? Because most of the efficiency stuff is done by machines, for example. And then what kinds of ways of working together, because working together, organizations are nothing but models of collaboration. What kind of ways of working with this organization model where you get employees come to office and you pay them salary, will that be the model or something else? We need to also imagine what kind of skills we'll need because the collaboration models are changing. So skills will also change. What kind of skills we need as humans? Technical skills, functional skills, I don't know. And then what kind of technology we'll need, which will augment our skills? Like as Microsoft says, what do we need technology as a co-pilot, or do we need technology as a colleague or caregiver? And then eventually what kind of services will be there for the future for humans? And at the intersection of it, we'll create the future. And we need to understand what are the information networks in all this, and what are the relationships between this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nav. I'll never forget, perfect timing. A few years ago, I had Nav on a panel and I wasn't expecting what Nav can do. He's a very creative visual person, and he got up off the panel and asked for a flipboard and then just started drawing his frameworks. Amazing brain, amazing person. Please ask him difficult questions because he's great on the spot as well.